What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Random Reese. Ain't talk to y'all in a minute. So we back at it today because this nigga Antonio Brown got the whole NFL's talking. I don't know what the fuck is up with this motherfucker. Like seriously, like you forced your way out of Pittsburgh to get your money because they wasn't paying you. You finally get paid. You didn't play the last game of the season that could have got you into the playoffs. You force your way out, you get your money, you get a big contract, one of the highest paid in the league, 30 million guaranteed, making 14 million this year on a team that could be on the rise and definitely needs you because as a centerpiece to their offense, you're going to get a 150 targets easy, and then you start with all the bullshit. First is the cryogenic mistake where you go into the cryogenic chamber without some flip flops on. Where I'm pretty sure they gave you the rules of it. Then you don't want to play without the helmet, and you knew what was going on. And then all the extra bullshit, like what the fuck is going on? Then you saying like you thought you wasn't gonna get fined for missing all them games. I thought you didn't want to me, it looked like this. It looked like you was a superstar. You was an athlete. Like I'm on a new team. I'm the star. They gave me all this money. They need me. So let me do whatever I can not to participate in preseason. I get it. You're a veteran. You're 31 years old. A lot of veterans don't like to participate in preseason because it's boring. It's taxing on the body. You don't really need it. You can prepare in other ways. You work out with Athlete X, one of my favorite YouTube places to go to when I want to work out. So you've been doing this your whole career. You know how to prepare for a season. So to me, it looked like that you're doing everything you can to either be on Hard Knocks and be on Hard Knocks and get a lot of attention to yourself, or to get away from preseason. I'm like, all right, I get it. You want to stay in the news. He's a diva wide receiver. Diva wide receivers do this type of stuff. We've seen it in the past. We've seen it with Keyshawn Johnson. We've seen it with Terrell Owens. Like, it goes on and on. This position attracts divas and that diva mentality. So I was like, all right, cool. And then you come out with the fine thinking that, okay, everything's going to be good and you wasn't going to have to pay the fines. And Mike Mag is like, nah, you're going to pay. You posted on your Instagram, and then y'all get into a heated exchange allegedly that you said it didn't happen. And then you was going what you thought. Then you got scared that you wasn't going to play because if they suspend you, they void the contract. No team has the money to pay you this year. So if you go to a team, you're gonna have to pay for less money than a 14 million guarantee that you were going to make this year, and they were going to try and take the 30 million guarantee that you have for your entire contract. So it just don't make sense. Like you force your way out of a place, then you go through all this drama and shit, like just to do all of this, and you might not get paid. Like it don't make sense to me. Like part of me thinks that like maybe something's wrong with this mental awareness health. Is like maybe something's wrong with you. Maybe you're bipolar. Maybe you have anxiety issues. Maybe you're going through depression. Like seriously, this is serious talk. Like maybe your friends, your close friends and family need to talk to you about this because some people on the outside just gonna look and laugh at it like this motherfucker is just a diva. But somebody who has like mental issues and dealt with depression and anxiety and have people close to him dealt with these type of things, part of me is thinking like maybe you're going through some of this as well. You know what I mean? Because some of this stuff is so erratic. You know what I mean? You don't know what the fuck is going on with you. Like it just when it doesn't add up, you think like what the fuck is going on? Because you want your money, but then almost you almost make it seem like they're going to take away your money, and then as soon as they take away your money, you start to act right. But I'm still wary because you may play the first season, get your 14 million, have most of that guaranteed, get your 14 million for this year, and have most of your 30 million guaranteed locked up for you. So you could possibly play one game and get $45 million, and then get cut. Like, and then what? And then you can just disappear and do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I mean? Maybe football isn't in your heart anymore. Maybe you don't want to do it. But when I look at your videos and I see how you work with Athlete X, it's like I see part of you that like you work harder than anybody else because you wasn't a number one draft pick. You wasn't a first round draft pick. You worked and earned your way into this role, and you defy the odds because some like a wide receiver 5'10", 5'11" don't become the best wide receiver in the game. It's usually the wide receivers that's like 6 feet, 6'2", 6'4" that did this. So it's like you worked your way to get here. So like, did you work your way to get here just to get the bag, or did you work to get here to be the best? And like looking at your videos and all these things that you do, it's like it looks like you work to be here, but like all your antics is like it's complete opposite. So if you look at one of my previous videos where I said these teams won't win a Super Bowl, the Raiders were one of them because they have a diva wide receiver on the team. Diva wide receivers do not win championships because they draw too much attention and they make the quarterback have to throw to him. Like, like subconsciously, the quarterback is going to be thinking, I have to throw to this guy because I haven't thrown to him in the last 5 or 7 targets, so I got to give him the ball, even though they may drop back and the read is to another receiver or another running back, and that's a better option. But he's going to force the ball to his diva wide receiver and then probably make an errant throw or just make a throw that's not as efficient as another throw would be. Also, a diva wide receivers take up a lot of money. And if you just let's look at the last 20 years, look at how many number one receivers have won a championship. If you look at number one receivers, like I said, Marvin Harrison is probably the only one. Diva wide receivers who won a Super Bowl at their peak is zero. None of them. No diva wide receivers has won a Super Bowl in the last 20 years. I mean, you have to go back to Michael Irvin, to Dallas, or Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce back in '99, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty. And Jerry Rice with the 49ers, but that's over 20 years ago. So in the last 20 years, Marvin Harrison wasn't a diva, but he was the number one wide receiver with Reggie Wayne. They were both like top-notch wide receivers. So if you look at the last 20 years, Randy Moss didn't win the Super Bowl. Who else? Ocho Cinco, no Super Bowls. Fitzgerald wasn't a diva, but he was the number one wide receiver, no Super Bowl. Who else we got? We got Terrell Owens, no Super Bowls. He made it to the Super Bowl. He played well in the Super Bowl, but he didn't win the Super Bowl. So, like I said, if you look back, look at the teams who won Super Bowls. Like you look at the Denver Broncos. You look at not the Denver Broncos with John Elway, but the Denver Broncos with they had two solid wide receivers, but I wouldn't call either one of them diva. They were like right up there at top echelon Pro Bowl wide receivers, but neither one of them were like super divas. But you look at the Patriots, all 6 of their Super Bowls, like they had wide receiver by committee, pretty much. The Colts won. Who else won? Seattle won with no diva wide receiver. The Eagles won a committee of wide receivers. Like look at the history. If history has a way of repeating itself, and then the NFL's a copycat league. Like there's kind of a blueprint to it. It's not an accident. But these wide receivers running backs are being phased out, and wide receivers are being phased in, and it's kind of like you need a top-notch wide receiver to win, and it's false. And I think the NFL is not going to catch on to like 5 years from now. 5 years from now, then they're going to realize that hold up, we don't need a number one wide receiver to win the Super Bowl. We need a bevy of wide receivers. We need like 3, 4, 5 wide receivers that play different roles. We need a possession wide receiver. We need a slot wide receiver. We need a deep threat wide receiver. You know what I mean? We need probably like a wide receiver that could do a combination of all of those things. That's how you win Super Bowls, plus tight ends and running backs. You need multiple skill positions where you can put at multiple positions, multiple good skill position players. So you need running backs, you need tight ends, you need 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, about 3 or 4 wide receivers to win. Like that's how you build a team, and you don't pay any of them top dollar. You pay all of them mediocre contracts, like second tier contracts, not bottom tier contracts. It's good when you find those bottom tier players that can produce for you at a high level above their salary grade. They should have a stat based on that. Like you know how baseball had WAR, wins above replacement. They should have players. They should have a stat that has players that are wins above salary, like guys who put their numbers up based on their salary. And that's how you win in the NFL. You need guys that's going to perform at optimum level of their salary. Because a lot of times when they get the high money, they don't produce as much. When they get the low money, they produce way more. When you pay them right in the middle, that's kind of like where they at. So you need guys that's going to perform more than what their contract is. That's the optimum. So you need wins above salary. That's the stat I'm looking for. There should be a stat that says wins above salary. So sorry about the little rant. Back onto Antonio Brown. Like I said, you don't win with diva wide receivers. The Raiders are not going to win. You need them to compete because that team doesn't have a lot of talent, but that team would never win a Super Bowl. That team will never win the Super Bowl. Um, Kansas City just signed Tyreek Hill to a big contract. I think they should have waited. They could have waited. I don't think they have so much talent over there, so I don't think the salary is going to matter as much right now because they still have a quarterback. They still have a quarterback playing underneath the rookie salary, so they still have a lot of wiggle room, and they have a running back playing underneath the rookie salary. He was like a second or third round pick, and then you have Shaden McCoy just signed. Plus you got the rookie they signed this year. So you got two running backs playing underneath their first contracts, and you have Shaden McCoy who signed a 1 year deal for $3 million. So that's a pretty good contract for a guy like Shaden McCoy who's going to do a lot for them. But um, most teams they're not going to win with these diva wide receivers. It's not going to happen. And then Antonio Brown, like I said, I hope it's all a joke. Honestly, I really do. I hope it's all a joke. Hope he's really just been a huge troll the entire all season. And then once game one starts on Monday, he'll play all 16 games to his fullest, and then just go out and ball. And we don't hear from him the rest of the season. But I just don't think so because it's just his patterns, his everything's just been so erratic and no rhyme or reason to what he's been doing. I just don't think this is the last we heard from him. You know what I mean? He's going to want the ball more. He's going to bring attention to the team that's unnecessary. And the Raiders aren't going to be as good as they could be. So, AB, like like I said, friends, family of AB, reach out, check on him because you don't know what's going on. I don't want to see something happen to him that's like detrimental. You know what I mean? But reach out to him and make sure he's okay. But other than that, like I said, if I'm a Raiders fan, if I'm a Raiders fan, I wouldn't be too optimistic about having AB on my squad. Peace out.